Prime Minister Modi embarks on a two-day visit to Kyrgyzstan capital Bishkek for the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit, which is starting today. Prime Minister Modi will be holding bilateral meetings on the sidelines of the SCO Summit with the President of Kyrgyz Republic, Iran's President, Chinese President, Russian President as well. The meetings are scheduled with all of them. The focus of the summit is likely to be on global security, multilateral cooperation, people-to-people exchanges, and also on topical issues of international and regional importance. India is expected to raise the issue of terrorism at the summit, but will not talk about any specific country. At present, the SCO represents around 42% of world's population and 20% of the global GDP.
We are also aware that Prime Minister Modi had paid a historic visit to Central Asian republics in 2015. That was a time where he had also paid a bilateral visit to the Kyrgyz Republic, and today, within 4 years, we are having a repeat visit. It's hugely symbolic that the Kyrgyz president was in New Delhi for the swearing-in ceremony of the Prime Minister Modi. This is also a bilateral visit outside the neighborhood. So there is a great excitement, expectation in relation to this. Right. And as you know, that the Kyrgyz people are also, they are mountain nomads, instinctively very democratic and freedom-loving. So they do see a world leader in Prime Minister Modi.
Geeta Mohan joining us live from Bishkek now. Remember, India Today is the only channel reporting live from Bishkek, from the SCO Summit. Geeta, walk our viewers through all that is scheduled as far as Prime Minister Narendra Modi's bilateral meetings with Xi Jinping, Vladimir Putin and many other global leaders are concerned.
Well, we are at Hotel Orion, which is where Prime Minister Narendra Modi is staying. He is the only member of the SCO nations who's not staying at the Al Aracha, which is the state guest house where the Kyrgyz president is hosting every other heads of state or heads of government, because the delegation was really big. The delegation, Chaiti, is big because there is going to be an India-Kyrgyzstan business forum as well, which will be addressed jointly by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the President of the Kyrgyz Republic tomorrow. Having said that, what is going to happen today are the important bilaterals with China, Russia. Then there is going to be a dinner that is going to be hosted by the Kyrgyz president, followed by a gala concert. And then late in the evening, there is going to be another bilateral with the Afghan president. There are two bilaterals that are also firmed up for tomorrow, which is with the Kyrgyz president and with the Iranian president. Important aspects of the bilateral talks also are going to focus on economic and security cooperation, but like you rightly pointed out, terrorism is on top of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's agenda when it comes to the SCO Summit. We are given to understand that China is going to try to raise the issue of United States of America and the unfair trade practices. India, many experts believe, should exercise caution when it comes to those aspects, but certainly terrorism, counter-terrorism, and how to take forward this entire regional bloc into combating terrorism is going to be the main focus of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's agenda. We also know that a few days before the entire preparations for all the delegations to arrive here in Bishkek, the Chinese Vice Minister had warned countries, particularly looking at India, that this should not be a forum to target any one country. While there might not be a mention of Pakistan per se, but there certainly will be mention of terrorism and those states that really should be looking at trying to combat them rather than helping them and abetting them.
Absolutely. Geeta, why don't you walk our viewers also through the bilateral talks which are not happening anymore with Pakistan. In fact, Imran Khan had written a letter saying that he wants to have a dialogue with India, but India has gone ahead and snubbed that particular request. Perhaps there would be some sort of an informal chat on the cards?
Well, that's quite a pertinent point there, Chaiti. The fact that Prime Minister Narendra Modi decided not to use Pakistani airspace was a very significant message, but not more so to do with whether if there is going to be a bilateral meeting with Pakistan or not, more to do with the fact that there are Indian students and many Indians who have suffered at the hands of this shutdown, and it would not have been proper looking at Prime Minister Narendra Modi taking the special privilege while others have suffered because of this very same shutdown. Having said that, the bilateral meeting between India and Pakistan certainly has not been planned. There is going to be no formal talks with Pakistan because Pakistan is yet to take credible, irreversible action against terrorists that have directed their actions against India. But there could be, in an informal setup, if the two prime ministers come face to face. Remember, SCO is a forum where China and Russia are very important countries, and their first condition to include India and Pakistan as members was only when they would not allow difficult ties of India and Pakistan to really spoil the environment of the SCO forum. And is the reason why, if these two prime ministers come face to face, there will be exchange of pleasantries, they will be courteous to each other, but nothing beyond just courtesies is what we're being told.
All right, Geeta, continue to stay with us right there. We're coming back to you to get more information on the story, but we're getting a whole host of reactions coming in on the SCO Summit. Take a look at all of them.
Now are the days of digital connectivity, digital highway, and there India has a lot to offer, and the best scenario would be that India, Kyrgyzstan and Russia work together. We have to be very careful that there should not be any way that it is seen that in China's trade war with the United States, SCO takes a view or a position which is detrimental to United States.
Two broad areas are extremely important. One is the whole message that Prime Minister wants to give in terms of no nonsense on terrorism. An inclusive society where development is the core pillar for development strategy is something. So sabka saath, sabka vikas, that kind of message probably you would hear. Point number two would be the centrality of connectivity. By not accepting the sovereign sort of violations through Belt and Road Initiative, Prime Minister has consistently emphasized on connectivity as an instrument for bringing in this development narrative back to the table.
Geeta Mohan still continues to stay with us on this story. In fact, I just want to tell our viewers we're the only channel reporting live from Bishkek at this point of time. Geeta, I'm going to throw straight across to you. The key highlights are going to be cooperation between countries, global security situation and economic cooperation as well.
Well, that's right. They are going to be focus areas, but because there is a very keen reminder for India with the shutting down of the airspace by Pakistan, connectivity is going to be a major conversation too amongst all these SCO leaders and SCO members. India will push for a connect and outreach with the Central Asian nations. They are geostrategically positioned. They're very important countries in the region, and India, beginning with the bilateral meeting with the Kyrgyz president, is going to continue with various other engagements here in Central Asia. Having said that, economic and security are key parameters when it comes to the SCO forum and how they move forward and the areas that they're looking at. So there are going to be a lot of conversations in how to take the entire regional bloc forward. But the fact that terrorism is an area that affects all, we will have to wait and see whether, if this time around there is going to be any naming of terrorist organizations, particularly those that have safe havens in Pakistan.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to watch out for that one. Thanks much, Geeta. That was Geeta, our Foreign Affairs editor, joining us live from Bishkek. We'll keep going back to her and get you more updates. In the meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo attended the India-Idea Summit in Washington, D.C. and was all praises for Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Pompeo highlighted the massive mandate that Prime Minister Modi received in the election, saying that while people had doubts about the BJP winning, he was confident that the Modi government would win, referring to Prime Minister Modi as a new kind of leader. The U.S. Secretary of State even spoke about Prime Minister Modi's humble chaiwala roots and chanted the BJP's Modi hai to mumkin hai slogan.
This is a deeply important relationship, and I know that these conversations that we will continue with the new government in India that has so much promise for its people, for our relationship, and for the world. And I'm very much looking forward to my trip next week and meeting with Prime Minister Modi and my new counterpart face to face. As Prime Minister Modi said in his latest campaign, he said, Modi hai to mumkin hai. Modi makes it possible.